So now we have learned how to compare two quantities with ratios. We can also do three quantities with ratios. So let's imagine we have three kinds of objects. Um, let's say we have some triangles. So I have maybe these are I'm counting triangles, and there seem to be 12 triangles. So let's get down to 12 triangles. I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 triangles. I can have maybe 6 squares. So I'm going to put out 6 squares, and maybe I can have 4 circles. Okay, so now if I want to look at the ratio, I could say the ratio is 12 is to 6 is to 4, right? So that would be a way to express the quantity of red triangles to the quantity of green triangles to, the green squares to the blue circles. That's something that we could do. But we could also simplify this, right? Because remember, the unit that we are using right now is just one shape. So one shape, counting just individual shapes. But what we could do is, instead of counting individual shapes, we could use groups of 2. If we use groups of 2, then note if I'm using groups of 2, so I'll have 6 groups of yellow triangles, 3 groups of green squares, and 2 groups of blue circles. So the equivalent ratio would be, so this would be equal to, and I can say this is 6 ratio 3 ratio 2, and that would be perfectly fine. And the way I've gone from here to here is I've divided by 2 because I'm considering my unit to be something which is grouping two things together. So the number of groups has reduced from 12 to 6, and from 6 to 3, and from 4 to 2. Okay, so let's do a simple problem to make sure we understand this material. So let's say we have 20 liters of water. So we have 20 liters of water, and it's going to be poured into 3 buckets, A, B, and C. And the ratio of A to B to C, A to B to C, the ratio of water is equal to 2 is to 3 is to 5. Okay, and now what we want to find is, we want to find what is C. Okay, so again, we know since the ratio is 2 is to 3 is to 5, what that means is that we decided some kind of unit, and maybe A had 2 such units, and B had 3 such units, and C had 5 such units, right? 1, 2, 3, and all the squares that I've drawn are the same volume, because it has to be true that my unit has to stay constant. Okay, so now all of this we know has to be 20 liters. So now please note that the total number of units that I have are 5 blue units, 3 green units, and 2 yellow units. So that means I have a total of 10 units. So 10 units make up 20 liters. So that would imply that 1 unit must be equal to 2 liters, right? So now C has 5 units. So each one of them is 2 liters, 2 liters, 2 liters, 2 liters, 2 liters. So this implies that C is a total of 5 2's, which is 10 liters. So you can see again the concept of ratios just works beautifully even when you have three quantities and there is no new concept.